Hey folks, we are back in Thailand. We crossed over yesterday afternoon. If you missed that episode, I'll link it up in the upper right hand corner now. But in this episode, we'll make it down to Udon Thani through some torrential flooding. We've got a long way to go in a circuitous route. But let's go back to this morning where this day started.
So we're fresh back from our 2 days in Laos, and we're back across the border in the border town of Nong Khai, Isan, the far northeast portion. And we spent the night here last night in the White Hotel. I was here about 3 years ago because I did a motorbike tour between here and Loy, back to Udon Thani. It was a good tour. I still remember it. And I stayed at the White Inn Nong Khai. Right across the street is Jimmy's a restaurant. And I believe Jimmy's passed away, but his wife runs it. She wasn't here though. I just missed her. I remember her from 3 years ago too. I didn't get a chance to say hello, but we had a great meal in Jimmy's. And today it's a rainy day here in Nong Khai. We're going to head west, I believe, and go to my friend's village. She has her village about 30 kilometers away. It's along the Mekong River. We'll see what that looks like, and then we'll eventually end up back in Udon Thani tonight. You know, it is a pretty painful low season, but we had a big high season. In fairness, we had a big high season. We had a good songkran. But it's a painful low season, and here in Nong Khai it really shows. I'm expecting more of the same in Udon Thani tonight. We'll see. We'll see if Udon is a resurgence of people or if it's really a low of low seasons there. I suspect it's going to be. Anyway, we'll hit the road and we'll see what we see today. We stopped at a little town just outside the village before we got there. There's a little market here, and I've been neglecting myself. This is my third day. I drink a coconut every day. I haven't had one in 3 days. So we saw them here. I think they're 15 baht or something. I can rectify that situation. I was saying from the outset, rolling into this town, it's a much better little village town than where Lan lives. There's a KFC, a big Lotus, just more of a town. Not so rural. Doesn't have that kind of rural country vibe. It's more urban. I stop and get some gas. Even if it's a small car, it still uses gas. The normal price of a Dunkin' Donut here is about $1, about 32 baht. Today I just got 7 of them for 100 baht.
Did you leave some donuts for somebody else?
I got 7 donuts for 100 baht. What a bargain.
So yeah, 7 donuts. That's not a lot for, well, we got 4 people. That's not a lot, is it? That's not even 2 donuts a person. But anyway, I guess you call that a baker's half dozen. We'll leave the gas station. We'll make the final push down here into the rural village. You know, the gas station, the town, I don't know, that's probably 10 kilometers, 10, 12, 13 kilometers from the heart of the village. It seems like that's always the way it is. You have the village, and to get anything, to go anywhere, it's like 10 kilometers away to get into some kind of civilized area. But anyway, beautiful out here. We're in the province of Nong Khai still, and we will make sure we don't hit any stray animals here, and we'll get down to my buddy's house. There it is, and we'll check this out. I like checking out homesteads in different villages. They're all a little different. We're here. We've made it to the homestead in the village. Whew, it's kind of back here. Anyway, we'll have a look around. We got to go in and see the mother and dogs and the goats and whatever else they got. We'll look around. All these outbuildings, it seems you always have to duck your head down. The outbuildings don't have a high roof on them. There's a cage here. I don't see any critters in the cage. Oh, mosquito. Oh, yep. All the makings of a typical village homestead. Traditional Thai toilet. Check.
And the remains of traditional Thai kitchen.
Yeah, that was at one point the kitchen before the modern house. This was the house. The kitchen, the bathroom, this tin roof. This was the house before better accommodations were built. At a cost of many thousands, probably. There's the obligatory Honda Wave.
Is this the one you bought 10 years ago?
No, the one I brought was a white one. Yeah. That's in the other village.
Boy, this one's in great shape over here. I think what we have here is some kind of fish trap. They've got these detergent bottles as floats. They've got a basket. I guess the fish can go into the top to get the food that might be in the basket, and then they can't get back out. I think that's how it works. And then they rope so they can pull it back in. So they let that go down the river, and I guess the mouth of this kind of sits where the fish can still swim in. I don't know. Definitely a concoction. I've never seen anything like that before. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีจ้า
สบายไหมโอ้มีแมวด้วยแมวใบเกี้ยง Wow. Oh, kind of gamey in here.
And I built that cabinet.
It's not a cabinet, it's a shelving unit.
Yeah, shelving unit, well, cabinet. But I find the wood and I cut it all up and make it.
Okay, well, I mean, that's something decent.
Yeah, because before...
It doesn't look like it's going to fall down. This is all mitered in here, whatever you call it. It doesn't look like it's going to fall down. It's sturdy looking. It's functional. They're using it.
Lasted 10 years.
Yeah. Lasted 10 years, huh?
Yeah,
You built that 10 years ago.
But before they used to put all that stuff on the sink, so when it come to make breakfast, there was nowhere to... No sink.
I think I found the source of the smell.
Oh.
So like me, when my buddy comes out here to his missus's family's house, he doesn't stay here overnight. He stays at a motel in town. They have a really nice little resort with little houses, a swimming pool and everything. For anywhere between 500 and 1,000 baht a night. It's hard to adapt to that real local village type living where they just sleep in the middle of the floor with some mosquito netting and a fan. Just not what you're used to. There's limes. They got limes growing here. Look at that. Wow, a lot of limes. I'm surprised nobody's here picking them. Maybe we should pick some before we leave. But very nice. Very nice, quiet village. I believe this over here is tapioca. It looks like they've just planted all the tapioca seedlings or little sprouts. I think that's what it is. Pretty sure it's tapioca. And they grow sugarcane and rice. That's kind of everywhere. That's kind of every village. Sugarcane, rice, some tapioca, and little vegetable gardens at the houses, etc. A lot of fields, a lot of little lakes, reservoirs to hold water, and not a whole lot else. It's raining today, though, and as ramshackle as this place is, it's bone dry back here in this multi-use living area. Despite what the roof looks like, it works. And I think this is the processing station where they'll cut up the fish and vegetables, and they process all the food here before they cook it over here. Okay, so the mystery's solved. It's not a fish trap. It's a place you put your fish while you're fishing. So that it allows water in, but the fish can't get out. And it floats, so you catch a fish, you put it in the top, they can swim around while it's the submerged part. And when you're done for the day, you pull that whole thing up, and there's your catch of the day. So I thought it was a fish trap. It's just a place to hold your fish that you've caught. That's convenient. Nice little... a big tricycle. It's got a battery on it?
Yeah, because it's got the motor.
It's got a motor. Where's the motor?
In the front wheel.
Oh, that's
you pedal it.
That's a motor?
Yeah, you can pedal it, charge up the battery and everything. Or charge the battery.
Oh.
Good.
Oh, wow.
So a little time in the village goes a long way. We didn't spend a whole lot of time there, but it's time to head into Udon Thani. Not that far. Nong Khai and Udon Thani, less than an hour apart. The city's proper anyway. Some country roads notwithstanding, we'll make it to the highway, and then we begin seeing this dark, ominous clouds that look like they were basically hanging right over Udon Thani. We'll see what that's all about as we get on down the road.
Rainstorm. We missed the huge rainstorm, but we got the leavings. The road was entirely flooded. In fact, I don't know how the little car didn't float away. the water, I could feel the water under the floorboards of the car we went through here. Anyway, we made it here. I believe I stayed here before. It's at home in Udon. So we kind of booked this place on the fly. It's called At Home Udon. At home, I think it's At Home at Udon. 650 baht a night. It's right down here in the Soy Sampan area. Soy Sampan, the kind of the expat area of Udon Thani. Bars, restaurants. We checked in early. Our room wasn't quite ready yet, so we went right next door, some kind of sports bar thing. I'll take you over there, and we had a bite of lunch.
So wouldn't you know it, on the street right out in front, an Isan tuk-tuk awaits. We won't need that right now. Maybe later we'll need that. But because right next door, I found this place, just about right next door. It's called The Restaurant Sport Bar, big yellow sign with black letters, and they got books inside. They got a library in case we want to book with our lunch. So we'll get ordered up. They have Thai and Western food. Let's take a quick look around, though, while we wait for the food. In the back, a pretty sizable pool table there. There's an ice box and what looks like a souped-up street bob. There you go. A lot of flags, game-worn jerseys in the ice box. The finest cuts of meat and cheese available for sale. So I guess it's like a little bit like an expat store in that regard as well. We happen to show up during happy hour, which is most of the day. So reasonably priced beverages. Anyway. They had Thai food, as I alluded to, which is good because the girls wanted that. That keeps them at a low roar, while us men folk enjoy a more hearty Western fare. So my buddy here, he's from New Zealand. He's a bit of what I would basically say he's a pie expert. Pie is like the national dish in New Zealand, Australia. And but I don't know much about pies. I thought my pie was great. Look at that. Maybe a little burnt in that one part, but I'd rather have it too crispy than not crispy enough. But I thought it was great. But anyway, after lunch, it'd be time for a siesta. I guess we could have stayed at the Centaur there. That looks pretty nice. But anyway, we'll go out this evening around 6 o'clock.
So our last night of the trip here in Udon Thani, we go out. We came to the Day and Night Plaza. We've hit a couple places already here. There's probably 20 bars in this bar complex. Everybody has the same story. It's very quiet. The low season has really affected them too. Same story in Nong Khai last night. Up here in Isan, the small kind of touristy places that have bars and restaurants and things for Westerners are really feeling the pain this low season. So, in fact, the bar we're at is called the Pattaya Bar. It's only been open about 16, 17 days. I said, that's pretty brave opening during low season. They said, yeah, but we just do have some customers. The first bar we went to here, they said yesterday they only took in 3,000 baht. Yes, anybody that owns a bar for 3,000 baht, it doesn't pay them to open. 3,000 baht costs them more than 3,000 baht to open, probably. Anyway, we're going to look around. There's a whole nother street of bars. There's so much to do at night here in Udon Thani. There's night markets, there's food plazas, there's bar complexes and bar streets, there's everything. So we'll look around, and then tomorrow morning, we've got to go to the Udon Thani airport and fly back to Bangkok.
So that's right. Now, I did meet a couple folks in here. Couple, I guess, local Udon Thani residents recognized me and came up and said hi. One person in particular gave me a little bit of advice. So we were looking for maybe a place to have dinner. He gave me a recommendation on that. So thanks. I forget his name, but it was a good recommendation. I'll show you where we went in a minute. But at the same time, in fairness, he said this place, this day-night plaza, doesn't really get busy till 8 or 9 o'clock. So we were a little bit maybe early. But here's the brick house. This was our restaurant recommendation for a little dinner. And I know we had the big lunch with the pie and everything, but Western food, we don't get a whole lot of that. You know, in a couple days, just a couple days from now, I won't be able to eat it all. There's some some things coming up. You'll see, I don't have much time to eat. So might as well pile it on now. My buddy got the beef stew, which really looked nice. Very nice. A big dollop of mashed potatoes there. I had a chicken burrito, which was also nice. I just wanted something light, so I got that and an apple crumble. There you go. But anyway, we will suit up and take a look around Udon Thani at night. there you go. We did take advantage of the Isan tuk-tuk parked right outside of our hotel. There he is. He chauffeured us around town. We had a good time, Udon Thani. I mean, the entertainment complexes weren't busy at all, but, sometimes that's a good thing. You go into a place, you go into a bar or something, you're the only one there. So what's not to like there? But the low season has definitely crushed a lot of these type of, in Khon Kaen, they have an entertainment area, Nong Khai, Udon, just not their typical selves. But anyway, the morning would come quick, and we got a plane to catch, so we'll make our way in the morning to the Udon Thani airport. Lovely little airport here. Great service between Bangkok. There is service from Utapao. It's just not every day. It's not daily, and I was not able to match up the schedule with my schedule, so I ended up going out of Bangkok. But anyway, I really recommend flying into Udon. Very, very good experience. AirAsia went in there. Vietjet went in there. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and hope you enjoyed this little series for our trip to Laos and back. Something else next time, but for this one, I got to go ahead and leave it off right here.
And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.